I live in San Jose, and we have about an average crime rate for a big city. My brother's pizzeria got held up by an armed robber, twice. A gunman accosted a man at the ATM I use nearly every week. And another shot my friend in his jewelry store. Thankfully, he'll be okay. I applied for a permit to carry a handgun, but I was denied, even though I am a certified pistol instructor and trained in self-defense. California's gun laws make it nearly impossible to carry a gun to protect yourself. But here's what's really crazy. There was an armed robbery in the parking lot at my condo. I told one of the cops who was investigating that I'm not allowed to carry. He suggested that I should take the chance of getting caught carrying because the first offense is only a misdemeanor, and that's better than being defenseless. Imagine that. Law enforcers advising us to break laws because they know those laws are wrong. They can't be at every crime. Usually by the time they get there, the damage is done and the criminal is long gone. We must immediately repeal the state's anti-gun laws, laws which deny us our right to protect ourselves against violent criminals, so we have a fighting chance. Why should we be the victims? Repealing the anti-gun laws will make us safer and lower crime, because violent criminals don't want to get shot either. Let's make it dangerous for them to threaten innocent people, so we're free to be out at night, to get cash from ATMs when we need to keep our stores and homes protected. We'll all rest easy knowing that our loved ones will be safe.
Government rules and regulation control almost every part of our daily lives. They dictate how farmers must grow your food, how salons should braid your hair, what medicine we can use, and even what toilets we can buy. Big companies and cartels lobby regulators to pass these regulations, often making it impossible for small businesses to compete. Government regulations cost you and American businesses $1.75 trillion every year. What if companies could opt out of government regulations and be regulated by the market instead? One solution is to pass a constitutional amendment that guarantees the right of businesses and consumers to do business how they see fit. Any business that prominently displays a sign saying market regulated, not government regulated, will be free of all government regulations, excepting those that affect the environment. After 5 years, we'll end the sign requirement because it will no longer be needed. Opening up competition and consumer choice will save the average American family $7,000 to $10,000 a year in lower-priced goods and services. And the quality of products and services will be higher because market regulation will force vendors to compete for better safety, higher quality, and better service. This will create more jobs, consumers will have more choice, and best of all, things will cost you less.
I personally met a guy. He was knocking door to door on houses, begging for money. And I asked him, you know, what is it that you do for a living? He says, I'm a plumber, but I'm not a licensed plumber, so I can't work. He had been laid off by his company. They had him doing everything that plumbers do, and then when they were done with him, they laid him off, and he was out of work, and he had no way to make a living. Even though he knew how to do plumbing, he could unclog sinks, he could change toilets, he could do anything he wanted to. He couldn't work. He was stuck with begging because he didn't have a license. Texas law requires licensing for all plumbers. Technically, without a license, a plumber can't work independently. The system also lends itself to widespread fraud because companies, the way the rules are written, can send out a non-licensed plumber. They can charge the customer the same rate as they would charge the customer for a licensed plumber. But they get through the state laws by having one licensed plumber on staff. Even though they don't send that guy out to do the work, they send a regular guy out to do the work, they still get to charge customers the same high rate. The results of this are higher costs for customers and with no significant increase in quality of workmanship. As a libertarian solution, we need to seek a replacement of the state licensing board for plumbers and replace that with a private system of certification. The reason the certification process is more of a libertarian principle is because it's voluntary. It's voluntary on the part of those who choose to do plumbing as to whether or not they want to get certified. It's also voluntary for the customer, as the customer gets to choose whether or not they want to have a certified plumber do the work for them or not.
You can waste time, you can waste money, you can waste energy, you can certainly waste water. But the only way you can waste your vote is by voting for someone that you don't really believe in. Don't listen to people who tell you that voting for someone other than a Democrat or Republican is wasting your vote. If you don't want what they're offering, don't vote for them. Vote your conscience. Vote Libertarian.
Hi, my name is Fred Stitt. I'm an architect. I happen to be an authority on energy systems. I have published and taught on the subject for many years, and it's very well established that you can have your electrical bills cut in half. The secret is to get rid of government-protected energy monopolies. Years ago, we had a great precedent. The civil aviation was government protected. The airlines charged the same fees for the same crappy service. We had 3 TV networks with the same crappy programs. We had one phone company with very poor service. It used to be a subject of humor on Saturday Night Live. All these are gone now. These industries are highly competitive. They've been liberated. Prices are lower. Services are better. Far more variety. And the same thing can happen with the electrical industry, distribution and generation industries. They can easily be deregulated, privatized, make it legal to compete. You can now start your own airline, you can start your own TV network, little trick here, but you can do it. And of course, communications are wide open now. Electrical energy can be privatized as it has been in Germany and other European countries. They are reducing costs. Anybody can start their own energy company, and the results are spectacular. Massive new technologies coming into play that save electrical energy, save the costs, and give consumers wide choices. It can be done. And I would guarantee at least a 50% drop in utility bills, probably more. If you're paying $200 a month now, you'll be paying $100 instead, a savings of about $1,200 every year, $12,000 over 10 years, money that can go to your budget, to education, savings, whatever. And free market utilities, they will conserve energy, they will save you an enormous amount of money, and we'll see new technology emerge that presently is undreamed of. So let's free the electrical industry.
The state of Utah imposes an arbitrary cap on the number of restaurants that are allowed to serve alcohol, defying and denying the wants and needs of local communities. Right now, more than 100 applications are lined up at Utah's Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control. The DABC cannot issue those licenses because they are out of them, and they can issue one only when another license holder gives theirs up. Now that, of course, only occurs when an existing restaurant closes. New businesses should not have to wait for the failure of another business before being allowed to open. This artificial cap on the industry destroys job creation and denies businesses and consumers their free choice. When elected to the State House of Representatives, I will submit a bill to remove this unnecessary regulation, so communities are free to make their own choices. Many communities would welcome new restaurant and bar establishments, and of course the jobs they bring. With this change, new businesses will be able to open in Utah, creating in the next 5 years over 10,000 permanent new jobs, ranging from wait staff all the way to restaurant owners. These jobs will all be 100% funded and operated by the private sector without spending a single taxpayer dollar. In addition, new restaurant buildings and remodeling of existing buildings will generate hundreds of millions of dollars worth of new construction jobs. We'll eliminate unnecessary bureaucracy, cut total government spending, and that will help keep everyone's taxes down. More good quality restaurants will also promote tourism, which will increase and create even more jobs in the state. It's time for Utah to let go of outdated prohibition and useless regulation and allow the people and communities of Utah that desperately need jobs to take control of their future.
Many states have gay marriage initiatives this November. We as libertarians support initiatives to give all gay men and women the same rights as heterosexual couples to marry. It is simple. The Constitution never mentions marriage once. However, the Declaration of Independence mentions the pursuit of happiness. We libertarians want gay, loving couples to not only pursue, but achieve married happiness. Why shouldn't everybody be happy? Support happiness, vote for gay marriage.